Hi, I'm Cara Wassenberg. I teach in the Forge at Westdean, and today I'd like to show you how to create your own texture on copper or on steel. And you're going to do this by making a simple homemade swage. To make the swage, I'm going to use a piece of 9mm rebar and a piece of 10mm thick plate, which has been cut off a longer piece of strap. I could weld it together just like this, but I think that weld is not very strong. So what I've done is heated up the bar and put a curve on one end to make a handle, so I can hold it securely. And then the other end, I've just bent it around at 90 degrees so that I can then weld the handle onto the piece of 10mm plate and have a secure spot to put a weld in. So now I'm going to weld the handle onto the piece of plate using a MIG welder. So now I'm going to weld the nodules onto the piece of plate, and it's the nodules that are going to create the texture. So just to help myself get it into an even grid, which isn't strictly necessary, but just means they're evenly spaced. I'm going to draw a chalk grid just to help me when I've got my welding helmet down. And so that's really it. It's pretty simple, and you don't need to be very good at welding. So it's very rudimentary swage, but it's firm and secure. You take the hot steel out of the fire and give it a good brush. And I'm going to put the texture on. There's already texture here at the end, although it's difficult to see. But I'm going to put the texture on from that point onwards. Using my power hammer, so by moving the swage around on the bar, I get a stipple texture, which is a bit like raindrops on mud. Also, it's easier to use on copper when it's cold. So this is a wing of a dragonfly that I'm making for a school. So I've just cleaned both these pieces of metal up. The copper is quite shiny now, and you can really see the texture on this wing. And again with the steel. So that's how you can make a good texture, an interesting texture onto two different types of metal using a homemade swage and some basic welding skills.